Happy Sunday, Fan Clan. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you have had a really good weekend. My starts are just so bad. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully you've been able to open some Journey Together. Journey Together is like, the release of Journey Together has me somewhat hopeful for Destined Rivals. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But this is the end of our Journey Together content for the time being. Usually we'll do like a week's worth of content or a little bit more than that once a new set drops. This is your reminder that we have a master set of Journey Together right here that we're going to be giving away to one lucky subscriber. So we've got everything in here, everything that you can pull from a booster box or booster pack. It's got all the special illustration rares, all the illustration rares, full arts, double rares, ultra rares, everything. It's got everything in here. And if you want to win, make sure you're subscribed. So scroll down, hit that subscribe button. This is what it looks like. Actually, I think it's black if you're unsubscribed. I don't know. Just scroll down, make sure you're subscribed, and then you want to leave a like and a comment on this video. This is the thumbnail image of it. I'll also put a link in the description below, but just make sure you're subscribed and then leave a like and a comment on that video. We're going to announce the winner in 5 days, Friday, and then we'll begin our work on Destined Rivals. I've had a lot of questions about Destined Rivals since I have said that I'm not going to be opening it up, and I mean it, I'm not going to be opening it up. We'll still figure out ways to record content. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. We are going to go through 20 booster boxes of Journey Together that we opened up and look at pulls. Look at pulls to see if you should even open up your Journey Together booster box, what it looks like. But we're not going to do that for Destined Rivals. We're still going to put together a master set. But my plan, I think, is to give like discounted rate boxes below MSRP to 20 people who are okay recording a video and sending back some bulk cards, because I need to fulfill, I want to make sure that I can get the commons and uncommons at least that the competitive players need that reach out to me. I want to make sure I do that. And then also I want to make sure that we still have some content, to kind of go through, and we'll figure out ways to get pull rate data, things like that. But yeah, 20 people, and maybe I can put like a montage together of 20 booster boxes. I'll figure it out. It'll be 20 subscribers or 20 people in Discord. I'll leave a link in the Discord down below, but we will figure that out. We'll still have content for Destined Rivals, even though I'm not going to be opening it up. But I want to stand in solidarity. That's not it. I just want to, I don't want to open it up until my friends can all open it up, which is you guys. So thank you very much. Journey Together, we did open up booster boxes. I didn't read the room properly. That's my fault. So we're not going to talk too much about that. We've already had plenty of conversations about that, but we did open up 20 booster boxes to fill pull rate data, get a good understanding of things. And this is what we're looking at right now when it comes to Journey Together. It's down a little bit, but we don't have all the information yet on Journey Together, what the reprint is going to look like, when it's going to hit. We just know that Pokemon had communicated to distribution at Gamma that there is going to be a reprint at some point in time. The main caveat is this word right here, this enhanced word right here, especially if you're a sealed collector. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're a sealed collector. What do you do with this set? Do you buy a Journey Together enhanced booster box and a normal one? You can see the normal one a little bit more expensive because ultimately it is a little bit more rare, right? Like in the EU, you have the option of buying either one, but in the United States, everything was enhanced except for the ones in pre-release kits. So you can order a pre-release kit as an LGS. You would get 10 booster boxes or 10 build and battle kits, and then also a Journey Together booster box that was not the enhanced variant. So do you order one of each? This one could ultimately be more rare, despite the fact that it doesn't have the box topper in it, the ends Reshiram in it, that stamped promo card. I don't know what the reprint's going to look like. Distribution is assuming it's going to be this, but Pokemon has not communicated that. We also don't know when it's going to hit, how big it's going to be, anything like that. We're kind of just in the waiting game right now. We know we're going to be getting more Prismatic. We know we're going to be getting more 151. We know we're going to be getting more of this, but what it's going to do to the market, it's still kind of early on. But you can let me know in the comment section down below what your plan is with this. My assumption is it is also going to be enhanced. I would think that it is going to be enhanced. We opened up 20 booster boxes, or have the pictures of 20 booster boxes at least, of pulls, so we can determine if it's even worth it to open it up. It never is, right? It usually never is, but a lot of people are kind of freaking out about the price drops that we've seen from singles, and ultimately, Journey Together is doing really well. We talked about this on Friday, but you might have a Journey Together booster box sitting there that you're like, well, I kind of want to open it, but I don't know what's going to happen with the reprint. Should I really open, and that's what we're going to look at. We're going to associate prices with each of these pulls, so that way you can determine what value looks like, what the average value looks like. We've got all the averages. 20 booster boxes isn't a great sample size, but we didn't want to open up too much. We wanted to make sure that we could fulfill as many orders as we can at MSRP, get as much product out there for people, because booster boxes are still selling. Even now, a couple weeks after release, they're still selling, a couple weeks after release, they're still selling for $75 above MSRP, or $50, $60, somewhere around there. So I'm going to get my ugly mug out of the way, so that way that doesn't disturb the images here and the dollar signs, and you can just kind of hear Fanny talk in the background. But what we did is we associated a value with every single pull, and then the lowest value that we did was $2. So like Clodsire down here, it's just a $2 EX. It's actually selling for cheaper than that, but you can probably get $2 for all of your bulk EXs, especially if you vend a show or something like that. And this isn't necessarily saying that you're going to sell these cards. This is just, it's nice when you open up a box and you get the value back. That's really what it's all about. You don't want to open up a box and it's all like you get $30 in value in return. Even if you have no intent on selling, it's good to know that you at least get what you paid for. And yeah, there's fun costs associated with everything, and there's entertainment associated with everything, and that should be true with Pokemon cards. You look at the attacks, you build decks, you look at the artwork, like everything's really cool. A lot of Pokemon cards nowadays tell stories. The artistry is phenomenal, but at the same time, you still want to get some of your value back. I do want to add the caveat that I pulled all this data a few days ago, so this is from Thursday night when I pulled all this data. This video is coming out obviously on a Sunday afternoon, so some of these values may have changed a little bit, but for the most part, these are going to be fairly accurate. Bulk and codes, unfortunately, the bulk department is just dead, and the reason behind that is because so many Pokemon cards are being opened all the time, and even with lots selling at an all-time high on eBay, on Amazon, and things like that, there's just so much to replenish those lots that people are struggling to do anything with their bulk. And that's why, like, a lot of times you just give it away, or you give it to your local children's hospital, give it away on Halloween, trick-or-treating, things like that. Give it to kids who will enjoy it a little bit more, people who want to build decks and things like that. And then code cards not nearly having any value associated with them like they used to, so we're just going to put a blanket $5 bulk and codes. It would be nice to see some competitive cards kind of sprout up, but we won't really have that information for a couple weeks yet as tournaments start unfolding with the new rotation and things like that. Like Ends PP Up could be a pretty good card in competitive play, and there's a couple other ones that are kind of on the fringe right now, which could add some ancillary value to opening up a booster box, much like what we've had in the past with Paradox Rift and Earthen Vessel, with Shrouded Fable and Night Stretcher, and even with a set like Temporal Forces, pulling out Buddy Poffin, Obsidian Flames. Obviously, you have Arvin. There's some sets out there, and even Countercatcher from Paradox. Those trainer cards are worth a couple dollars, which you'll pull 4 or 5 of in your booster box, which is really nice because that adds that ancillary value up. Nothing like that in this set as of right now. So that's why we've only got $5 for the bulk and codes. The box topper is actually doing fairly well because a lot of people aren't opening up their booster boxes. They're leaving them sealed. So because of that, the demand for the box topper is still pretty high for people who did not get one, or did get one but aren't opening it up. They still want to build master sets, and they include the box topper in that, or they just want one for their collection because they like the artwork, and the artwork on the Ends Reshiram is really cool. So it is selling for about $19. Again, this was pricing that was pulled on Thursday night. So this is our first box right here, which isn't bad, but this is kind of like one of the more minimum boxes that you can find. You can see the full art Mamoswine right up here. That one's selling for about $3 right now. The Volcanion, the cheapest special illustration rare, we've got $39 on that one. And the Iris, the full art supporter cards, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era, for the most part, are relatively inexpensive. So if you're somebody who really enjoys full art supporter cards, or maybe you're looking at a different area of the hobby, a different niche to kind of get into because of all the madness that's going on in a lot of other areas, maybe full art supporter cards are something to look at. Illustration rares not doing too bad for the most part. Maractus right here, one of the more inexpensive ones. That one's only moving for about $4 right now. The Whale Lord not doing quite as well as I thought it would, but still doing really well. Again, the artistry on this card, phenomenal. This one's currently moving for about $32, and then you've got the Furret here, that's got about $11 worth of value. For the most part, a lot of these EX cards down here are bulk, and they are going to take a little bit more of a hit, especially like this Hop Zacian right here. Right now selling for about $4, but it will continue to come down because it is plentiful. And the reason it's plentiful is because it's not just in Journey Together, but it's also in those Hop Zacian boxes that are out there. So that's going to bring that value down a little bit more. Lily's Clefairy not doing too bad. That one's currently selling for about $9. Everything else is bulk, and you'll see that as a pattern as we move on and look at the rest rest of the boxes, everything is bulk except for Zoroark, Lily's Clefairy, and I think Habzacian. I think that's it. Everything else basically selling for $2 or less. As we move into box number 2, a little bit less value right here. You've got 2 full arts, the Iono's Bellybolt right there, which is moving for $8, and the Lily's Clefairy. When I looked, it was $23 on Thursday night. I'm pretty sure it's down even below that. It might even be sub $20 right now. And then you've got the Salamence EX, which is a really cool card for a full art, but relatively inexpensive. So if you're somebody who didn't really buy any Journey Together to open, now might be the time where you start looking at singles and things like that. Only about $4 for that full art Salamence EX. I will say the Iono's Bellybolt, that should come down even further. We do have that Iono's Bellybolt premium collection box that's coming out with very similar artwork on the card itself. So another full art Bellybolt will bring the value down a little bit. Then our 3 illustration rares in this box: Lycanroc, Noibat, and Lily's Rabambi. The Lycanroc is moving for $6. Noibat has $10 in value associated with it. And the Lily's Rabambi might be a little bit low right now. That one's currently selling for $13. You can definitely tell the double rare category, as you can see on the bottom. You get more hits. Like, we did lose A-Specs in this set. The double rares, it does seem like you get a lot more. So this is kind of an average box right here with 14 hits. But you will see boxes that have as many as 16 hits, and full arts, like, you get a decent amount of them. So this is a very cool set, a very fun set to open for a lot of people because it feels like you get a lot of hits, and also the silhouettes in the background for the trainers. The artwork is just insane with this one. So for the most part, when it comes to the ultra rares on the bottom, the double rares as they are called, the regular art EXs, you've got Zoroark at $8. Everything else is just bulk. So just a $2 value associated with all of those. In total, you've got about $110 for this booster box right here, which isn't too bad, but when you factor in the fact that you're paying over $200 for a booster box, not really worth it when it comes to that one. Here's a decent box right here because we did pull a special illustration rare at the top. You've got that Salamence EX, which is the second most expensive card in the set, currently selling for $136. I'm not going to talk about any repeats that we've already talked about. So Brock Scouting up there, $5 on that one. We already covered Mamoswine. We already covered Maractus and Furt. You do have that Swinub right there at $5. The bottom category is really what you want to pull when you're opening up a booster box. You really want to get some of that ancillary value. So anytime you can pull a Lily's Clefairy, that's going to be really, really strong because that does add about $9 in value. You can see everything else is just bulk right there. So a perfect box would feature Lily's Clefairy, a Habzacian, and an Zoroark EX in the regular art department because you pull those more frequently and there is a greater variety of them. So to pull them all frequently is going to add the most bang for your buck. In total, this box right here, box number 3, $207 worth of value. So that one's pretty decent. New Volcanion EX at the top here. This box was not very good. I actually think this is our worst box that we opened up. Only two full arts. You still got your 3 illustration rares, but then only 7 regular arts. I say only 7. 7 regular arts is really strong when you factor in the early era of Sword and Shield, or the early part of Sword and Shield, all the way up to Evolving Skies. Every single box we would have just under 8 hits per booster box. So between 7 and 8 hits per booster box. To get that just in the regular art department right now is phenomenal. So pull rate's way better now than what we've experienced in the past. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when we turn over to the next generation to see what Pokemon does, if they keep illustration rares, how they move forward. But Volcanion EX only adding about $2 of value right there. Basically bulk already. We already talked about Iono's Bellybolt. We already talked about Noibat. The Ends Reshiram, this is the unstamped version, so you can pull it in a booster pack as well. The difference is this one does not have the Journey Together stamp on it. And because of that, it is a little bit more rare because it is a little bit more difficult to pull. If you open a booster box, you're guaranteed to pull the stamped version, but you're not guaranteed to pull the unstamped version. So the Ends Reshiram, a little bit more expensive, selling for $25 right now. And then you've got the Hops Wooloo. That's a new one right there, selling for $8. When it comes to the EXs, the regular arts, we just got bulk in that one. And because of that, this box only has about $91 worth of value right there. When it comes to box number 4 or 5, I'm going to forget what number we're on. The only new card to talk about right here is the Ruffian right there, currently selling for $2. So again, those full art supporters, this set is very small. That's why I've compared it a lot to Stellar Crown in the past. I know the artwork, a lot of people love the artwork in this set better. I also agree. I think the artwork in this set is much better, and the chases are much better than what we had in Stellar Crown, which does have some chases, but not as good, in my opinion, as what we saw in Journey Together. But pull rates stay very similar to Stellar Crown, and because Stellar Crown is such a small set, because Journey Together is such a small set, it's a lot easier to pull certain certain cards because you have less variants to pull from, which is really important. The only new illustration rare to pull right here was the Ionos Kilowattrel, currently valued at $16. Very, very strong right there from the illustration rare category. You can see the Kilowattrel at 16, the Whale Lord at 32, and the Ends Reshiram at 25. So decent value there. And then you've got the Lily's Clefairy on the bottom at $9. Everything else bulk prices, so a total value of $131. Here's a big banger of a box right here. It is nice pulling 5 of that full art variety or higher in your booster box. So you can see we still got 2 full arts with the Lily's Clefairy and the Hobzacian. Hobzacian, a new one here that we're going to talk about. That one's value currently at $9. But then we also pulled the full art trainer Brock Scouting moving for $5, and you pulled another special illustration rare, which is the Salamence EX at $136. But then you also added in a hyper rare. If you could open up a box that's got a special illustration rare and a hyper rare, that is absolutely amazing. So that hyper rare Ionos Belly Bolt right there, currently moving for $33. But then on top of that, we also pulled 4 illustration rares in this box, which is better than normal boxes where you're going to pull 3. So we pulled the Swinub, the Wooloo, the Furt, and the Lily's Rabambe. And then when it comes to the regular arts, still 7 regular arts on the bottom there. Did not pull a Lily's Clefairy, but still pulled an Enzoroark. In total, you've got $287 worth of value on that one, which is really strong. Here's our first appearance of the Ionos Belly Bolt special illustration rare, currently valued at $98. So below $100 on this one. When I looked on Thursday night, there were only 3 special illustration rares that were above $100. That was the Lily's Clefairy, the Enzoroark, and the Salamence EX. The Ionos Belly Bolt did fall below. Nothing really worth noting in the illustration rare that we haven't talked already about. We've got the full art Enzoroark up there at $16. And in the bottom section, you did pull Lily's Clefairy and a Hobzacian, which helps out the value even more. In total, you've got $207 worth of value on that one. So that one's fairly decent. Another Salamence EX, we pulled a decent amount of those. Again, batching, we've talked about that a lot on this channel, especially with this set in specific. That one moving for $136. We also pulled the full art version of Salamence EX. No full art supporter in this box, which is a little bit interesting. And then in the illustration rare category, we did get the Articuno on this one, which I believe is the most expensive illustration rare as of right now. That one currently selling for $39. And then you've got just a plethora of bulk EXs on the bottom there, with the exception of the Lily's Clefairy and the Hobzacian. In total, you've got $251 worth of value on this box. Next box, we've got a special illustration rare and Zoroark EX. Special illustration rares about 1 out of every 2 boxes, which is still really, really strong. Not as good as what we had in the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet era, but still very, very strong, especially when you have less variants here. You will pull a decent variety of them if you open up, let's say, a couple hundred packs. Just make sure you spend, obviously, below MSRP. Only new ones in here, the Dunsparce, which is a little bit above bulk, not much, currently selling for $3. And then you've got that Enzoroark right there. Special illustration rare currently selling for $115. That one is my chase of the set. That's the one that I love the most. Nothing really new in the illustration rare category. Again, only 11 illustration rares in the set, which means that variance factor, if you open up a few boxes, you should pull most of them. And then in the bottom, the double rare category, we've got the Hobzacian and the Lily's Clefairy EX. Total value on this box, $215. This box right here, we've got a new arrival with the Enzoroark Hyper Rare, currently selling for $43. Those Hyper Rares do fairly well in this set because they do have that silhouette of the trainer in the background, which is really cool. So Enzoroark and Ionos Belly Bolt holding their value fairly well. The exception, obviously, the Spiky Energy not doing too great as a hyper rare trainer card right there. But everything else we've already covered in this box. The double rares, you've got the Enzoroark. We did pull the Whale Lord, which is really cool. And value-wise, $177 in this box. Not bad considering the fact that we didn't pull a special illustration rare. Next box, we've got Iris, we've got Hobzacian, we've got Mamoswine. We've covered all those illustration rares. Our Ends Reshiram, Wooloo, and Kilowattrel. And then the double rares worth noting, Enzoroark and Hobzacian. Overall, a little bit down of a box, $114 in value. In previous sets where boxes are selling for $90, $100 before this giant boom, $114 in value would be really strong. Unfortunately, we don't have that case right now because boxes are selling for much more expensive. Here's another loaded box that did have a special illustration rare and a hyper rare. However, this box doesn't have the same amount of value because the value that you pulled from those 2 categories was fairly low. The Ionos Belly Bolt, $30. $133, which again isn't bad, but not as expensive as the End Zoroark. And then you've got the Volcanion EX Special Illustration Rare, a really cool card, but on the cheaper end of the spectrum when it comes to the Special Illustration Rare category, $39 on that one. We also did pull 4 illustration rares on this one. Again, relatively inexpensive ones with the Lycanroc, the Wooloo, and the Swinub, but you do have the Noibat, which helps a little bit. That one's a little kind of in the middle of the road when it comes to the illustration rares. That one's valued at $9. Then in the double rare category, we only pulled 6. One of them was an End Zoroark, and one of them was a Hop Zacian. Overall, $166 worth of value on this one. Again, fairly strong. It's not all about value. Pulled some really cool cards, which is really what matters, but it's cool to see at least getting that return if you're spending MSRP on a booster box. Here is that Spiky Energy that we were talking about. Spiky Energy only selling for about $8 right now, so relatively inexpensive. And then we did get the Dunsparce, the Brock Scouting, and the Hop Zacian. When it comes to the illustration rares, we got the Articuno again. That one, again, moving for $39. But then you also have the Swinub and the Ionos Kilowattrel. We got the End Zoroark. That was the only one worth noting when it comes to the double rares. $129 worth of value in this box. Then the next one, this one was a little bit lower as well because you did pull the Dunsparce and the End Zoroark as your full arts, but that was it. We did not pull any special illustration rares, and we did not pull any hyper rares on this one. And then our illustration rares kind of average on this. You got the Maractus, which is a little bit cheaper, only $4 illustration rare right there. And then the Noibat at $9, the Lily's Rabambe at $13 helps a little bit. And then you did get a little bit of help from your double rare category with the End Zoroark and the Hop Zacian. I think that's what helped this box not hit the bottom of the barrel when it comes to value. Total value on this one, $93. Next box, you did get the Lily's Clefairy and the Hop Zacian, so those 2 full arts, and another hyper rare with that Spiky Energy, but relatively inexpensive, only at about $8. Your illustration rare category saved you a lot because you pulled the 2 most expensive illustration rares right there with the Articuno and the Wailord. And then when it comes to the double rares, you've got a box that features Lily's Clefairy and End Zoroark, which helps with the value. Also, $180 in value on that box, and we didn't even pull a special illustration rare, so that one was really strong. Here's, I think, our most expensive box right here because you did pull the Lily's Clefairy, which is the most expensive card in the set. It has come down quite a bit over the last couple weeks. It was selling for over $400. When I looked on Thursday night, it was at $211. It might even be lower than that right now. So even though we pulled 2 cheap full arts with the Volcanion and the Salamence, that special illustration rare really helps the value a lot. Then we've got 3 illustration rares there with the Swinub, the Wooloo, and the Rabambe. Nothing really worth noting in the double rare category other than the Lily's Clefairy and the Hop Zacian, but because of that Lily, $290 in value. If we wouldn't have pulled that one, this would have been our worst box of the opening. Here's another End Zoroark special illustration rare at the top there, so that's $115, coupled with the Ionos Bellybolt full art and the Mamoswine full art. Our illustration rares, the Reshiram, the Kilowattrel, and the Lycanroc. Just the Hop Zacian for the double rare category that has more than bulk value associated with it. You're looking at $213 worth of value on that box. This box a little bit less in the pull rate category, in the pull category. You did get 2 cool full arts with the Ionos Bellybolt and the Lily's Clefairy. We did pull the Wailord and the Lily's Rabambe for the illustration rares. Also the Maractus. I do like the artwork on the Maractus, so I'm okay with it being relatively inexpensive. The color scheme, really, really cool in that one. And then when it comes to the double rare category, you've got the End Zoroark. Other than that, just bulk. Total value on this box, $124. Then we've got this next box here, which nothing really worth noting in the full art category. We did pull 4 illustration rares with the Furret, the Kilowattrel, and the Lycanroc. That Furret at $11, not doing too bad. And then we also pulled the Articuno, which is currently selling for $39. That's the best one, like I said, that you can pull. And then the double rare category got helped out a little bit by the Lily's Clefairy and the Hop Zacian EX. Everything else bulk in the double rare category there from this box. $133 worth of value on that one. Not bad. This box was a little bit loaded as well with the Spiky Energy and the Volcanion EX, so a special illustration rare and a hyper rare. However, lower values on those 2, right? Like Spiky Energy, only $8. The Volcanion, the cheapest of the special illustration rares, at $39. So even with all these pulls, 5, 6, 7, 8 pulls, 3, 6, so 16 hits in this box, you're still looking at $20 below MSRP. So if you paid MSRP for this box, you still would have lost about $20 worth of value, which isn't bad because $20 for fun cost, I think, is fair. But illustration rares, Noibat, Lily's Rabambe, and Lycanroc. And that just goes to show you the dive that we've had when it comes to price points for some of these cards right away. We did pull the Lily's Clefairy and the Hop Zacian EX, $143 in value on that one. So if we break everything down, we opened up 20 total booster boxes, and we add all the values together, you're looking at $3,404 worth of pulls. Your profit at wholesale, so $96.50 per booster box. So if you're a storefront like ourselves who open up product in order to have singles and help competitive teams and things like that, you're looking at $96.50 per box. A lot of people get confused at what the wholesale prices look like. I guess I can put my face back up here. Wholesale cost is really determined on what demand looks like. So we have a certain rate. It's not a contractual rate by any means that we pay by distribution. That's why you have distribution who upcharges a lot. A lot of people have made content talking about how much more they're getting charged from their distros. You don't have like a rate that you're locked into. A lot of it does get based off of demand. Now, I've got a couple of distributors and reps who are absolutely fantastic, who keep things as close to wholesale prices they possibly can, but every once in a while, it doesn't work out that way. And demand from Journey Together, for example, we have always done these bundle deals that we've done where it's 3 booster boxes and like an ETB for $330. Basically breaks down to about $30 for an ETB and $100 for a booster box. Those help. Those are easier to do when there's product available. Unfortunately, we don't get the same deal anymore because there's no product available. So they will sell excess boxes that people didn't take from their allocation, or people didn't want to pay for, or stores didn't want to pay for, and then they have extras that are available that they can send out for a discounted rate as long as you're able to pay for them up front. And that just unfortunately doesn't work it didn't work for Journey Together. It probably won't work for Destined Rivals because there's not enough products. So Pokemon needs to print more products so that way we can continue to offer stuff. Our normal rate isn't normally $96.50, so this is a little bit higher for this set, but it still works out fine. Profit at wholesale, you're looking at $1,474. Profit at market, you're actually losing $916. So if you opened up 20 booster boxes at $216 a box, I don't know why you would do that. Don't do that. You're going to lose about $916. If you open them up at MSRP, which is $162, your profit is about $164. Now, this doesn't calculate in any fees, any shipping, any expenses that you might have. So obviously, if you piece things out, even the profit at wholesale is going to take a huge hit. If people start ordering singles and they order 1 at a time or 2 at a time or something like that, you probably are going to have a lot sit. A lot's going to fall apart. You're probably not looking at much profit. And this is why it's not worth it to open up booster boxes or open up cards to try and get your value back, right? We look at the fund costs. That way you can try and use it as a form of entertainment and make better decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars. But you should never think that you can just open up booster packs, booster boxes, and run a business off of that. Don't do it. Our best box was $290. Our worst box was apparently better than our best box. That doesn't make any sense. Our worst box was actually $91. So $290 for our best box, $91 for our worst box. But your average box, $170.20. So a little bit above MSRP, which is why you have that profit at MSRP about $164. So again, I don't know if it's really wise to open up that much product, especially not now where the market is. I think if you're buying boxes at MSRP, opening up a couple for fun, maybe getting a good start on your master set is important. That's fine. But I'd wait a little bit, buy singles as the market cools off. Once Destined Rivals comes out and there's a lot of attention being paid to that, these singles are going to continue to fall. If you pay any attention to the market, there's a lot going on with the market right now. A lot of stuff is retracing, going backwards, especially if you look at sets like Scarlet and Violet 151, really taking big steps backwards, which is really important for the long run when it comes to the hobby and collectors wanting to buy cards and things like that. So as long as you're patient, things will work out. It's just tough right now because you see product being opened, you see that FOMO, you get that itch, and that's what makes it more difficult. So I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that subscribe button down below. Like I said, we will figure out how to make sure that we can deliver this type of content still with Destined Rivals. We'll probably just do 20 boxes to subscribers, or we'll do a raffle system and put it up in Discord. We'll figure something out so that way we can still give away a master set and we can still get all this figured out. But be patient. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. But yeah, if you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a long way for the algorithm. Share the channel. You guys are awesome. The more we grow, the more we'll give away, and we're closing the gap to that 200,000 subscriber milestone, and then we'll do a really massive giveaway. So tell your friends, tell your granny. Grannies love the fanny. You guys are awesome. I love you. I'll talk to you again in a couple days. Until next time, peace.